Hey class, and happy Thursday. How are you today? So nice to be here with you. And I'm in your house, aren't I? Yay, it's nice to be in your house. Today we are going to read another story from Kay and Martez. But first, I want to introduce you to another thing that can help make our sentences more interesting. Throughout the year, we've been talking about different things that make sentences more interesting. One of those things was adjectives. Like if we have a sentence like the cat sleeps, we talked about describing the cat, describing the noun, because adjectives describe a noun and it makes our sentence more interesting. So something like the cat sleeps can be made more interesting with an adjective. We could say something like silly or cute or smelly. We can use our 5 senses to think of ways to describe the cat. I like to describe it by my nose. So I'm going to describe it as the smelly cat sleeps. So adjectives is one way that we can make a sentence more interesting. We also learned about prepositions, which says where it's happening. The smelly cat sleeps under the chair. We just took a sentence like the cat sleeps and we made it more interesting by adding an adjective, which is a wonderful part of speech to describe a noun, and with a preposition, which is the preposition would be under to describe where it's happening. Where? Under the chair. And I just described that to you guys before as anywhere a mouse can go. Under, over, beyond, on top of, and stuff on, and all those kind of words. But today I want to introduce you to something called a conjunction. What's your function? I'm going to tell you what a conjunction does. A conjunction is a really long word for really little words. So a conjunction is a little word like and, but, no laughing, or, the word or. All of these are conjunctions, and the way it makes a sentence more interesting is it kind of combines 2 different sentences into one. So say you have a sentence like, today I went to the museum. Now we know we can make it more interesting by adding an adjective, right? We could say the science museum. Science could describe the kind of museum. But another way we can make this more interesting is by combining it with the next sentence. So maybe we're saying, today I went to the museum. It was fun. Now we have 2 sentences here, but we can erase that period and this capital, make that little, and we can add a conjunction. We can say, today I went to the museum and it was fun. Now, let me show you. There it is. There's our conjunction. And it was fun. Now, I know that throughout 1st grade, I've been trying to get you to not say and as much, but that's when you're combining too many sentences together at once. So a lot of times you guys like to tell stories, and I used to do the same thing when I was younger. I would say, and then I did this, and then I did this, and. It's like, whoa, I just wrote a 2-page story in 1 sentence because I added too many conjunctions. So I don't want you to do too many conjunctions, but we can make 2 sentences into 1 by adding a conjunction. Another example would be, my class went on a trip. It started to rain. I can combine those 2 sentences with what? A conjunction. So if I get rid of that period and that capital letter and turn that to a little, I could say, my class went on a trip, but, don't laugh, but it started to rain. Now I've made a really better sentence because I combined 2 sentences that didn't really need to be 2 sentences. My class went on a trip, but it started to rain. Sad day. So let's do one more. All right, now take a look at this one. This one we also have two sentences that we can combine into one. It's not as easy with this sentence though, because we're not just gonna kind of erase the punctuation and add an and. We're going to use this word or, and this is another one of our conjunctions, those little words that can make our sentence more interesting and combine sentences. So let's read these. Would you like grapes? Would you like candy? How can we make these two sentences one sentence using our conjunction or? Think about it for a minute. While you think about it, I'm going to erase this second sentence. Now we have our first sentence, would you like grapes? If we use our or, we can ask an outright question, just one question, to get our answer. Would you like grapes or candy? Question mark. See how we took two sentences and we simplified that, didn't we? To say, would you like grapes or candy? And we made our sentence more interesting by giving them a choice. So to kind of wrap up, our conjunctions are words that we can use to combine sentences. The word and is more of a word that we can combine two separate sentences that can be one. Like, I like my bike. I like the sun. You could say, I like the sun and my bike. But is a word that might change the direction of our sentence. Like, you could say, my class went on a trip and it was fun. That's and combining two. But if we say but, it kind of changes it. My class went on a trip, but something kind of negative happened, right? Usually when you say but, something else, it just changes the direction of that sentence. Not necessarily negative all the time, but see, I just said but it can't, now I can't say but without laughing. So, there we go. So, you can turn a sentence, change the direction of the sentence. My class went to the zoo, but it started to rain. Or, I had an apple for lunch, but it had a worm in it. That kind of thing. And then the word or changes two sentences to give you a choice. Would you like apples? Would you like oranges? Would you like apples or oranges? So those are our conjunctions. Just a little introduction to conjunctions. Let's go ahead and get out our Kay and Martez reader and read our next story. In Kay and Martez, you'll open your book up to our table of contents and find the story that comes after the one we read yesterday, which was Martez. Looks like that story is called Dinner with Kay, and it's on page 8. Go ahead and turn there now, and you'll notice that you still have those A sounds that are bold for you. And we're really concentrating on that A sound spelled with the AY today, like in day, K, play, and say. Go ahead and read the story to find out how dinner at Kay's goes. When you're done, get out your kitty book and turn to page 11, which is 4.1. And you have 3 questions here, which are multiple choice today. So you'll read the questions and decide which answer is the correct answer. Then you'll turn to the back page, and on the back, you are going to write one thing that Martez says because he has good manners. So what's one thing from the story that he says that shows that he has good manners? That's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So long.